And you can see that the threads kind of separated there. The move I did before this one, I had to move a whole lot of threads to the left and then back to the right. So there should only be one rotation there, but they're separated out because of how many threads moved. So I just want to go ahead. Okay, I'm done moving threads now, so now I'm just going to try to tighten everything up. I use the blunt side of this tool to kind of tap, and it kind of pushes things together. Since there's so much thread bunched right there, it's probably going to take me a couple of rotations to get it packed in so that it's good and straight. But you can see it's already improved after one rotation. So I'm just going to keep tapping. Tapping and rotating. A little firmer press there. Sorry the image is upside down. I didn't have room to work with the camera on this side, so. And there you go. That weave is complete. So I've got about that. Sorry, I should have had that. Should have had that done before I started the video. I'll fast forward that part or cut it out or something. Anyway, so here's my thread. So I'm going to turn, because of the way I have my thread coming in at the bottom, as I discussed in one of the earlier tutorials, I have to turn it down to get it under there. And I put it in the wrong way. So I am just doing all kinds of messing up here. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? Okay, so try again. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to want that right in here in the middle. Pack it down. Okay, so now I'm going to rotate it with my tag end in place. That looks good. So do one more rotation and get everything packed in there good and tight. Pushing a little more firmly this time, not just tapping. Get everything good and tight. There we go. It's a good idea to unravel your tag in before you try to clip your thread. There we go, so I'm ready. Hold my finger here to hold pressure on it. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to pull some slack in my thread tensioner so that the thread doesn't pop whenever it comes loose. Run it back through my tag loop there. Start pulling it down slowly so it doesn't get all tangly. Then I'm going to pull that thread nice and taut. Get it started a little bit there. Pull it again. Make sure everything's good and tight. Then I'm going to clip this off real close. And then there you go. And it's not pretty, but we'll clean that up whenever we burnish and everything. Speaking of burnishing, now I'm going to go through and just kind of rub everything, not too firmly, just kind of gently rub everything and spread the threads out a little bit so that they're not quite so delineated. Just kind of smooth the image up a little bit. Want to be gentle on lettering for sure because of how detailed it is. If you rub it too hard, you can definitely mess up the look of your lettering. If I had this to do over again, I probably would have used a little bit bigger font. Just so it didn't look quite as back and forth there. Okay, let me stop this. Okay, so what I like to do before I clip any threads loose or try to get it, all the excess cross wrap threads removed, is to coat my image with some thread sealer. You want to shake it up pretty good. The first time you do this, it's going to freak you out. I'll show you why. Because it looks like I just ruined everything. But this stuff does dry clear. And the reason I do this before I cut threads or anything is to try to keep everything in place, so that when I'm doing all of my finishing work, I don't have to worry about the threads pulling loose. Now, I don't go all the way to the edge. I just get over my image really good, because I'll do another coat once I have everything cleaned up. This is just to secure the threads. I put it on kind of heavy on the main weave, especially on the edges, like right there, just so that all those things will stay in place when I'm ready to, because when I start cutting all these threads and tugging on them and burnishing on them and wrapping over them and everything, it's real easy to distort your image. So I don't know if everybody does it this way. I find it to be a good practice, because I have had a couple of weaves that I did all this work on get to the point where I'm ready to start trimming it out and everything, and all of a sudden I've pulled a couple of threads and made my image crooked, and then I don't have enough thread left to work with to try to straighten it out. So that's it, and it looks like I've ruined it with glue. And the first time I did this, I basically had a minor panic attack. But you just have to trust it. It'll dry clear. Okay, so it's been a couple hours, and my color protector is dry. So I'm ready to go to the next process.